Hello, everybody. I'm Jonathan Coachman, and this is Super Bowl Sunday on EA Sports. Up next, we've got a good one on tap between the visiting Houston Texans and the New Orleans Saints. With that, it's time for Super Bowl 53. For the call, let's go to Atlanta, as it is my pleasure to hand it over to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Brandon Godden. To my left is my good friend Charles Davis, and what a thrill to be here for the biggest one of them all, the Super Bowl. And it seems to get bigger every year. The lights get brighter, the cameras more numerous. I don't know, there's just so much that goes into this game. It's an honor to be here, isn't it?
It is an honor, and I can't wait to share this game with you. This is going to be a whole lot of fun. You're my partner, my best friend. I can't imagine being anywhere else but right here with you. And just think about it this way. You mentioned the magnitude. This is no longer just a game for America or even North America. This is worldwide. People watching from just about every country in the world. This is impressive.
The biggest stage, the biggest game, and just about ready to roll. Years after Joe Namath and the guarantee, we are underway in Super Bowl 53. This will be fielded at the 6. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. And here come the Saints for their opening drive. They'll be led out by the first pick of the second round back in 2001, and that's the veteran Drew Brees.
Total relentlessness of consistency, almost like a machine. If you watch him in practice, after every throw, he resets his feet, visualizes all the other options on a play. So if he has to do it in a game, it's already there, has the muscle memory. I started calling him AI for artificial intelligence. Whatever defense does during a game, he absorbs it and then uses it against them as the game moves on.
And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Anthony Barr in on the tackle. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
Brees to throw on second down. And it's complete to Antonio Gates. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A very solid gain of 27.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. They go play action here on first down. And Cook has it left side. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. That throw good for 4. It's second down. Partner, your thoughts on this D-line?
I love a unit that can control the run and get after the passer. This is an all-around terrific defensive front. Hard to move the ball against them on the ground, and then when you want to throw it, look out. Here they come after the quarterback.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Brees gives it up to Ingram. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And he's he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call.
Holding offense.
So some holding over on the left side of that O-line.
And I know for the guys trying to move those big defensive people, they'd love for them to stay in one spot. But they move around so quick and so fast that sometimes you just have to grab them.
And it's hauled in by Austin Hooper. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that and have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
That's complete right around the 8. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
It's a 4-yard pickup, and that'll make it 3rd and 1. From the gun, it's Breeze. And he's got it. Touchdown, Saints. With the first touchdown of Super Bowl 53. And the Saints take it right down the field and score on the opening drive. Well, these guys have won 3 straight ball games and another good start to this one out to the 6-0 lead.
And I've talked with so many different coaches, as have you along the way, and they always talk about winning streaks and the mood of a team and how much easier it is to actually prepare during that time. Guys are sharp, guys are focused, everyone's feeling good, and we're seeing it early in this one.
Gostkowski with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So out come the Texans for their opening drive. They're led onto the field by the former Cal Bear and the #1 overall pick in 2016, Jared Goff.
I love this guy's makeup. He is not afraid to fail. He attacks on just about every snap. Wants to throw the football downfield first. He'll throw it short if he has to. But bottom line, he wants to put a lot of pressure on the defense with his arm.
Now a carry for the former Michigan State man, Le'Veon Bell. So a good spin move there before he's taken down. A nice little gain. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so. They'll run it now out of the gun. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
I know what you're thinking out there. I know a lot of you are thinking, take a shot downfield. It's a great spot for it. I'd say maybe later in the game, definitely in the second half. But right now, I think they were just trying to get some momentum going. Get a first down, pick it up, and keep moving.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. And let's take a look at the Texans offense.
To play running back in today's NFL, you need to be versatile, and that really defines Le'Veon Bell because if you hand it to him, he won't turn it down. 321 carries in 2017. And if you want to throw it to him, well, they targeted him 106 times last season as well, which was 2nd in running backs only to Christian McCaffrey. So Le'Veon Bell is a defensive nightmare when you try to figure out where he's going to be on the field to try to defend him.
And a look at Bell, who remains down after that play. Appears to have gotten shaken up. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. On 4th down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. Back deep, a Louisiana native, Jarvis Landry. The Saints offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And coming up on their second drive of the game, had the touchdown last time out. Now they have the football back. Chance to really seize early momentum.
Feels to me like they had a really excellent week of practice. It all came together.
Ingram churning. He lost the football. And the Texans say they have it. They do. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
And now out comes Houston. They were forced to punt last time, and I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot, great opportunity to run your full playbook. They want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
McKinnon. And he'll get about 4 as he's brought down at the 24. A look now at the defensive starters for the Saints. They were very strong in that victory from a week ago. And last week in that victory, they were pretty good. Probably a pretty easy film session, I would imagine.
And after a performance like that, so many people think you just roll into film, take your popcorn, kick back, and enjoy the show because they played well. I can just tell you from experience, after a win is when coaches come down on you harder because they want to emphasize all the mistakes that happened. Because you won, you're in a good mood. They want to bring you back to earth. Oftentimes you walk out of there and you ask your teammate, did we win last week?
Blitz coming, and down he goes. David Irving able to swamp him from that defensive tackle spot for a loss of 5.
What a nice read and play by the defensive tackle. Never bought the play-action fake. Went right for the quarterback and put him on the ground.
And got a man. It's Woods. He was a 1,000-yard receiver during the regular season, and that's his first catch of the Super Bowl, and he picks up the first down.
When the spotlight is at its brightest, and let's face it, it's the Super Bowl, those types of plays come out, don't they?
Absolutely. A big-time catch on the biggest of stages.
Do you think that one's going to live on? We're going to see this for a long time.
Definitely going to live on forever with him, that's for sure.
No doubt. A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
On second down, it's Bell. So he got 3 at one tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else. They give him about 4 on the play, but he's marked short, so it'll be 3rd and about the length of the football. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
Hard throw, incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So the ref makes a call. No touchdown there. Wipe it off the board. And Boswell's kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
Here's Jarvis Landry now on the return. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
He's got the hook up here to Deshaun Jackson. His first catch of this Super Bowl, and it'll be good for a first down.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it. So those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. Von Miller in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, no second guessing the call here. It was 3rd and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
They'll start out on the ground with Bell, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Got some room at the 30. Caught right side, Gresham. And all the way up to the 33-yard line. His second catch of the Super Bowl, and it's good enough for a first down. They were in zone defensively, went with a crossing route. It's always interesting to watch that chess match.
Yeah, and I think safeties don't mind crossing routes against zone because eventually you're going to run into their territory, and that's when they lick their chops in order to get the big hit or a play on the ball.
Offensively, nice execution to find a hole, make the catch. So we played a quarter here in Super Bowl 53. 7-3 the score. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's Texans football as we get going in quarter number 2. They've got it 2nd and 4 to start things out. They'll fake the give. Now Goff. And Gresham has it left side. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. 3 catches for him now in the first half of this Super Bowl. It's a first down.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? It sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 12.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
So they get half of what they needed. It'll be 3rd and 6 upcoming.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
It's caught. Nelson. His first catch of this Super Bowl, and it'll be good for a first down. So on that play, defense was in the zone. They ran a crossing route offensively, but the defense there, you got to be good with communication, don't you?
You certainly do, and it's not something that is really evident when you watch it on the screen. but everyone's talking, communicating, pointing, and it keeps you from chasing receivers because you have a specific zone you have to cover. When a receiver's in your zone and he crosses to another one, you got to let your guy know. They got a completion there, but I like the discipline they show to stay in their proper areas and then make the tackle.
He's going to get it running right. And he gets halfway home from the 4 down to the 2-yard line. This is kind of one of those in-between plays here, Charles, on 3rd and goal from the 2 or the 3 in that area. What do you dial up?
Something quick hitting. You don't have the time for something that develops slowly. It's got to be right at them if you're going to run the football. If you're going to throw it, something quick, get it out of your hands in a hurry.
A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
There are certain drives in the game where anything less than a touchdown that caps it feels like an absolute disappointment. This is one of those drives.
And Boswell's kick is good. And they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle, right? No big plays given up, no balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like
Come
that
on,
one?
what does that mean, break out? That just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that, but I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. The Saints coming out now to take the field. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage.
Leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivation is...
And he loses the football a second time. And the Texans scoop it. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. And we put our focus now on Le'Veon Bell. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call in the West Coast offense, the long handoff?
Yeah.
Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position.
And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Jermaine Gresham from 8 yards out, and the Texans are in for 6.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet, or they just executed better. Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
Yeah, it worked very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
Extra point put through by Boswell. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Boswell on now to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So Bree's going to lead the Saints up here, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll run with Ingram here to begin the drive. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. First play of the drive going for 14 and also going for a first down.
Now that's how you start to get back in the good graces of your head coach. Remember, he fumbled on the last possession. How about the faith they showed him, giving him the ball again, and he repaid him, picking up a first down.
And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and it'll be second and very short.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, he always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
3 catches for him now in the first half of this Super Bowl. It's a first down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
He'll get about 4 here, down to the 43-yard line. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on second down.
Hey, you ready?
On second down, here's Breeze. Throw left side, taken in by Galladay. His second catch of the Super Bowl, and it's good enough for a first down.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Hey, when you get good yardage like that on first down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. At 5 yards on the play there, the drive will continue.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, it's almost a tendency breaker.
And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Well, add that play to his resume reel because he went to the Pro Bowl last year. That's how you go to the Pro Bowl. You make plays like that, big-time penetration, and throw people for losses.
Down to the 25. Ben Gideon in on the stop. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blow. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
They showed off a nice juke of the defender before the next wave could bring him down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, probably that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find one to get you into the end zone and get you 6?
And now out comes Houston. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points.
And he's taken down here by the Saints. Jabal Sheard in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We'll come back on Super Bowl Sunday after this. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman, both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
A give to Bell. And he'll lose yardage here, back to the 15. But now the Saints are going to take a timeout on defense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. The give is to Bell. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 12-yard line. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. Now here's Michael Dixon, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. Landry now on the return. Now a hit and a loose football.
And that's what friends are for.
As the returner, you know who you're buying dinner for later.
Oh, without a doubt, because he just took care of you and your team in a big way. You know, you turned it over there. That's a big momentum changer and put your defense in a bad spot.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10. Shotgun now for Breeze. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. It was Orlando Scandrick the one that time to knock it away.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. It goes underneath to Ingram. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
He dumps it down to Ingram. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. A good pickup there at 22.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time. One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him.
And he's got it. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. In for the score. And the Saints are able to cash in for 6.
And while that touchdown does not give them an insurmountable lead, it's still a lead, and that always feels good to a team.
They'd love to take that into the lockers, but a little time left on that clock, so some work to do.
I like that. I like how you're guarding against a letdown there.
Really looking forward.
Coaching them up from right up here in the booth.
Extra point good by Gostkowski, and that will make this a 4-point game. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it all culminates in a Saints touchdown. Gostkowski now out to kick it away. Jerick McKinnon now to return. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. Here's Goff. This one complete to Gresham. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup. Goff now, only 1 pass has hit the ground for him. 10 of 11 thus far. It's 1st and 10. Looking to set the Woods, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jason Verrett. And he's got daylight. It's a foot race. And he'll score. Touchdown, New Orleans.
Now that was a beautiful play. A pick-6. How would you punctuate something like that, partner?
You mean with an exclamation mark?
Exclamation mark, a big word. What would you do with that?
Ampersand?
I like it.
Extra point try for Gostkowski. Gostkowski the extra point. And that will take us to the end of the first half of play.
Personal foul. Roughing the kicker. Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. What a season this has been. Hard to believe it ends tonight, as we'll get back to you guys for the second half of this Super Bowl in just a moment. It has been a remarkable first season in the studio for me. I want to thank you guys so much as I send it over one final time for the second half call of Super Bowl 53 to Brandon and Charles in Atlanta.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Now it's Patterson. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Now the Texans offense, they head back out to do battle here. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
First down.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they'll march up another 15 against your squad.
Now Goff on first down. And Gresham, the tight end, brings it in. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he was unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Here's Goff now on second down. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. It's a loss of 7. And now it's third down.
When you lose that kind of yardage on a pass play, you often expect it to be a sack. But that wasn't the case there. They completed the pass. Probably would have been better off just dropping the football and making an incompletion as opposed to catching it and losing that kind of yardage.
And this is caught inside the 5. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. This offense can certainly move quickly when they want to. 3 plays, 3 pass completions. In the blink of an eye, they've got a first and goal.
Almost felt like a lightning bolt hit in this game, didn't it? For them to get down.
And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. Jermaine Gresham, his second touchdown of this Super Bowl. And the Texans draw a bit closer.
I know Paul Revere talked about by land or by sea, right? You know, 1 by land, 2 by sea. He didn't mention air because right now we're seeing a big-time performance, aren't we? That's 2 touchdowns so far in this game.
Where'd you pull that one from?
And, you know, every now and then I actually listened in history class.
And you're just a scholar all the way around. You're reading all the time. I like that you fit that into the broadcast.
You know, I just grab a nugget when I can.
They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for. And this touchdown will count. Goff now looking to throw. This is caught. And it's incomplete. But a flag is down here, so hang on. Let's see what we've got.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense.
I know it's an emotional game, Charles. You can't do that.
And when you get into your film sessions and you argue your case with your coaches, that's exactly what they say at the end. You just can't do it. It costs your team.
Goff throwing again. Pass incomplete. Should have been picked. Probably doesn't matter on a 2-point conversion, but still, as a former DB, you want to grab that ball when you can, don't you?
You certainly do, and don't say it, because I know you're thinking it. Don't say it.
What am I thinking?
You know I know what you're thinking. Well, if he'd had hands, he'd be playing on offense.
Right? That's true. You've said that before. So Bree's going to lead the Saints up here, 1st and 10 at their own 26. The play fake to Ingram. Now it's Breeze. Throwing deep for Galladay. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. The former Pro Bowl linebacker Anthony Barr there to jar it free.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down? The offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for.
They try under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. Von Miller in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10.
How about that, partner? His 2nd sack of the game, and that puts him in some pretty good company. 17 guys have had 2 sacks in the previous 52 Super Bowls, but only 3 have had the record number of 3 sacks in this game.
And we've got the list here. If he gets another one and everyone behaves nicely, we might just list those out for him. Pulled in at the 24. They'll call that a punt of 59 yards. Tough to do better than that. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Goff on 1st down. That's caught over the middle by Hurst. And he showed off the athletic juke. Good little gain there. Not a whole lot of real estate, but a nice carry.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense if that fell harmlessly to the ground. They'll try and run for it with Bell. And he won't get to the marker as they're going to stop it for a 2nd straight play right at the line of scrimmage.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Now the Saints offense, they get ready to go back to work here. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Okay, what can't Deshaun Jackson do? All right, we know about the catches. We just saw another one there. Also gets involved in the return game, and he can break big plays like that. We've seen him do it throughout his NFL career.
We have. What are you thinking of anything in particular?
I'm still remembering a certain Giants punter not following orders, and Deshaun Jackson made that big-time return all the way back for a game winner in that one. I still remember seeing the looks of disbelief on the Giants sideline.
Ingram again, a 1st down carry. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. The All-Pro Von Miller there on the tackle.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on 1st down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
On 2nd down, Ingram. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Well, that play was over before it even got started. Thanks for nothing, huh? How about that? That sets up a very difficult 3rd down call now.
Now Breeze on 3rd down. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. And he will reach the 8-yard line before going out. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And that's how you pick up a 1st down. Not only does he make the catch, but has enough body control to get his feet down inbounds, toe tapping, and dragging to make sure he gets it done.
His pass caught at the 4. Nice job defensively to hold him to 4, and now it's 2nd and goal. One man in the backfield. That's Ingram on 2nd and goal. They'll come out in the pistol. He'll get it up the middle. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that is going to set up 3rd and goal.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. And he's got it. Touchdown, Saints. Jared Cook from 6 yards away. And the Saints now add 6 to their lead. A good, sustained drive there in this 3rd quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
The point after try for Gostkowski. Gostkowski with the extra point. And it gives his guys a 12-point advantage. Gostkowski now out to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. And now trotting back out with the rest of his offensive mates, the big tight end. And look at the numbers. They have gotten him more involved. I guess the question now, Charles, defensively, how do you make him less involved?
That's always the key question, isn't it? Sometimes other guys are starting to play really well, and you shift your attention to them. You got to make sure you got full on him because he's so good that if you don't, he finds a way to make plays. Always have 2 guys in his vicinity, usually trying to bump him off the line of scrimmage and get him out of his route.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. To throw is Goff. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one goes for 24 yards.
Nice play call, a little bit of play action right there. If you can get those linebackers to freeze for just a split second, that's usually all the room you need in order to get it to your tight end.
On 1st down, it's gone. And he whips that one incomplete there. The tight end, Jermaine Gresham, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down. Well, too much oomph, too much mustard there on that pass.
Yeah, really turned it loose, didn't he? Really cut loose with that one. Sharp, strong. Didn't lead to a completion, though. Made it very difficult.
And they go backwards here. Losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. Make it now 3 tackles for a loss in this game, 1 for each quarter.
And for a guy who played defense in college, I can just tell you that he's feeling very satisfied right now by what he's doing. But he's elated because he knows what he's doing is helping his team win.
And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. Jabal Sheard in there to drop him for a loss on the play.
And that's the 2nd sack of the game, but this player, disruptive in all phases, whether he's going upfield, coming underneath, you name it. He's a big-time guy you have to block.
And we shift our attention to Mark Ingram. And we have seen a decline in the numbers. Where does the fault lie? Just him? Maybe the guys up front? Combination?
Well, as you and I both know, it's almost always a collective deal. But in this case, I think maybe the offensive line got a little overconfident. They had blocked so well in the first half, picked up on what the defense was doing. I think we've seen an adjustment now that they have not picked up on, and now they're being a little bit overwhelmed.
Now Breeze throwing on 2nd down. Right side caught by Jackson. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
This is Ingram on 1st and 10. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, These pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down. One quarter remains in Super Bowl 53. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Saints. They'll be looking to expand their lead here. They've got the football as we start the 4th. The Saints on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 3. Working from the gun, it's Breeze. And that is incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. Out comes a Houston offense as they get set to take over here. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
2nd and 9 now from the 21. On 2nd down, here's Goff. In the middle of the field, he's got Nelson. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. 10 yards there, good enough for a Texan 1st down. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
Right side complete. That's Woods. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. 4th quarter, every drive so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the 2nd touchdown. You got the 1st one for the 2nd one to even matter.
His 2nd catch of the Super Bowl, and it's good enough for a 1st down. 2 first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Now a 1st down carry by Bell. And he's going to take this across the 50 and into Saints territory. Gets a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Got his man complete over the middle. It's Nelson. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes and they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
Got a moot point there as they were able to connect. Goff now looks to throw. He's going to look deep down the field. So they took a shot on 1st down, but couldn't connect.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Goff now to throw. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete.
Holding offense.
Umpire threw the flag, usually always indicates holding, and that's what we've got.
And you know, depending on their positioning, where you are on the field, the umpire's got different responsibilities, but always making sure no one's holding.
Escaping the pressure right. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's 3rd down.
Nice job there defensively. A great time to dial up a blitz.
And give him credit under center instead of throwing it away. Actually, a pretty good job of getting past the line of scrimmage, not losing yardage. And this is going to be incomplete. Good coverage that time by the linebacker, Deion Jones.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
And he roams across the 20 to the 24-yard line. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. Breeze to throw on 2nd down. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though.
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. It kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. 11 yards for number 11. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Hey, you waiting?
And a 20th carry now for Ingram. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a 1st down again.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there, and on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing, in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously, but at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. Lawrence Guy able to bring him down.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
They'll try to run for the first with Ingram. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a 1st down. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs. How about this offensive line? They're really starting to establish themselves, take over this game.
And before the series began, I know exactly what we said in the defensive huddle. Guys, we got to get no less than a 3-and-out. Let's get off the field.
And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. Von Miller in there to bring him down for a loss of 7.
And that's his 3rd sack, and that ties a Super Bowl record. Makes me think of my old college teammate, Reggie White. He had 3 with the Green Bay Packers in Super Bowl 31. Darnell Dockett of Arizona, Super Bowl 43. And Coney Ealy, 3 sacks for the Panthers against Denver in Super Bowl 50.
All those sacks, they've only been an official record since Super Bowl 17. I know it's believed that L.C. Greenwood unofficially had 4 way back in Super Bowl 10.
Wearing those golden high tops as well.
Now Breeze. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down.
I think he's taking an awful chance with the football right there. You've got to lead. You've got to protect it. And he's taking chances, putting it out there in a little bit of jeopardy.
Especially in a spot like this, 4th quarter, as you said, trying to cling to that advantage.
Yeah, that one probably should have been picked, huh?
So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but it's still 8 up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
To return, it's McKinnon. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. Call it an 8-yard gain. Much better shape now on 3rd and just a yard. Time for a break. We're back to crown a champion after this. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And I see an extra defensive back on the field. Little surprise here on 3rd and 1. Out of the gun. Gone. And this is intercepted. And that should do it. Picked off by Jalen Ramsey. And they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line. This spot in the 4th quarter with that deficit had to throw the football. Unfortunately, there's the risk of big turnover.
And you know you're going to be throwing against nickel, dime, all sorts of exotic defenses, but you have to do it anyway. Ordinarily, you might want to run the football a little bit, try and get them out of it. But as you noted, this time of the game, this point on the clock, had to throw it.
And now the Saints get set to trot out there. And last time they were able to churn some clock. They got the field goal, added on to their lead. But that was a drive that was so long, it should have ended in a touchdown. You know that's how they felt.
And we'll both be headed to the airport after the game. But we probably should go to the post-game press conference because someone's going to ask the head coach about this drive, and he's going to profess that he was happy to get points, and we know that's not true. Okay, after this type of a drive, not getting a touchdown, a huge disappointment.
And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left. Ingram again. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. Bree's going to try and throw on 3rd down. And he finds Cook. The Texans going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the 1st down. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Breeze hands to Ingram. Oh, he shifts past him. Flashed the stick skills, but didn't get a ton from it. Stopped short of the 35. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now, I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get him behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. It's a gain of 7, and that should just about do it.
Brendan, every great running backs coach I've talked with has always talked about when you have great vision, you're not consciously thinking about your cuts and your moves. You're just doing them. And I think that's what we're seeing tonight. He's about run them into submission.
You took the words right out of my mouth. I was just going to use that phrase. He had run them into submission.
Wave the white flag.
And the Lombardi Trophy is headed back to the Bayou. The New Orleans Saints, Super Bowl champions. And to the Super Bowl champions, they etch their name forever in NFL immortality.
That's pretty phenomenal right there. It actually gave me chills just to hear you say that, because immortality forever and ever. When you look in the record books, you'll see this team, you'll see their picture, that your name will be a part of it. That's got to be an incredible feeling, because it's been a long journey to get there, and now they get a chance to enjoy it.
And they end this year just how everybody wants to end the year, holding the Lombardi Trophy. What a season for them. What a ride it's been for us as well here in the booth. For Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We will see you next season right here on EA Sports.